Hi everyone! In this video, I'm going to explain the difference between ASP.NET MVC and Web API. Let's get started. ASP.NET MVC is a full-fledged framework that includes everything you need to write an entire application out of the box. This includes everything from the presentation layer with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to the server-side code with C# and the database with Entity Framework. The entire application is structured around the concept of an HTML page that gets updated dynamically using JavaScript, NET, MVC, and Web API. When you build an ASP.NET MVC application, you're always building an HTML page. And when the user interacts with that page, it sends a request to the server. The server then processes that request and returns back an HTML page with the changes that the client can now render in the browser. ASP.NET Web API, on the other hand, is a framework that's used specifically for building the server-side logic of an application. MVC is a full-stack framework that includes everything you need to build a web application from the user interface all the way to the database. It also includes features like routing, which is used to define how the URL maps to the server-side controller and action methods. Additionally, MVC has support for both GET and POST requests, allowing you to handle a wide range of interactions from the client. On the other hand, Web API is a library that's focused solely on building the server-side logic. It provides a way to build RESTful APIs that can then be consumed by any client application. It doesn't have features like routing since that's not needed, and it primarily focuses on handling HTTP POST requests to the API. However, it does support other request types like GET and PUT. It doesn't come with any client-side code like HTML or CSS or JavaScript. It also doesn't include any code for the database or for a user interface. With Web API, you're specifically focused on building RESTful APIs that can then be consumed by a client application. Now, that client could be another web application built with ASP.NET Core MVC, or it could be a JavaScript application running in the browser or even a mobile app. Here's a table that summarizes the key differences between Web API and MVC. I hope this has been helpful in explaining the difference between ASP